Hi, my name is Michael Gogos, Product Manager for NetVault at Quest Software. I'd like to take you through a quick demonstration of NetVault's capabilities in protecting Microsoft 365 environments and the recovery options that we have for Microsoft 365 data. And I'd like to do that by showing you first how we can create a backup job of Microsoft 365 data. Now, the way we create a backup for Microsoft 365 in NetVault is the same way that we'd create backup jobs for all of the other types of data that NetVault's able to protect. From VMware virtual machines to Nutanix AHV to SAP HANA or Oracle datasets. The way that you protect things in NetVault has a very similar kind of workflow, which enables you to expand your data protection across your whole environment with the same processes and the same workflows. So using this window, we're able to configure all of the different components of a backup job, from when we want that backup job to run through the schedule, where we want that backup data to be stored, and some advanced options like if we want to run an immediate secondary copy to a different type of storage, or if we want to enable encryption or something like that. But here in the selections is where we choose the data that we want to protect. And that's where we'll go to give an overview of NetVault's capabilities in Microsoft 365. So in a larger environment, we would have a server and we'd have listed all of the clients that are under protection as well. On those clients, we can install what NetVault calls plugins, which are the little pieces that have the integration with particular data sources. We have a plugin for Oracle, for example, that uses RMAN to back up and recover the databases. But in this environment, on the server, we have a plugin for Microsoft 365. This uses the Microsoft Graph API to protect and recover Microsoft 365 environments. We've already configured this plugin to connect to this specific Microsoft 365 tenant. And if we browse through that, we're able to see the data that's able to be protected. With NetVault, you can protect Azure Active Directory. And you can protect Outlook, OneDrive, SharePoint Online, and Teams data. In a single backup job, you can pick and choose multiple different types of data across all of the different applications for protection. But let's take a browse and see what's available here. So if we have a look in Outlook, we can see that we've given the ability to select individual users or users based on groups. But if we click on users, NetVault is actually going out and interrogating Microsoft 365 and bringing back a list of all of the users in that particular tenant, including myself. So we can select my mailbox for backup, or we can select all of the mailboxes for backup. Likewise for OneDrive, we can select the whole OneDrive environment, or we can do the same thing and pick and choose one or more users. With SharePoint Online, NetVault presents a list of SharePoint sites that exist in this tenant, and we can pick and choose one, multiple, or all sites. Big list of sites in them. And with Teams, similar to SharePoint, we're able to pick and choose whatever Microsoft Teams we want to protect. So we can have a backup job that selects data from any of these applications, and we can run that backup job whenever we want. And we can run that backup job to whatever type of storage we want, whether that's core store in storage presented in Azure or on another cloud service, or if it's on-premises disk, whether it's a physical tape, whatever. NetVault is able to store that backup data then. The options, we're able to select whether we want that backup job that we just configured to be a full backup, or whether we want it to be an incremental backup, which just checks the changes to that data since the last full backup, the last backup, and protects just that. So that's how we can select data to be protected. Let's go now and take a look at how we can select data to be recovered. So I have a number of backup jobs that I've already run. So if we take a look at a OneDrive backup job, and click Restore, we can take a look at the data that was selected for that backup. This user was selected for the backup. And these are the files that were protected in that backup job. At the time of the backup, 5 files and 1 subdirectory existed. We can recover the whole thing, or we can recover individual files. Taking a look now at Outlook, you can see that 2 users were protected. We can see the directories, and we can see items within the directory. So we can choose a particular email to be recovered, whole directory, or the whole mailbox. Let's take a look at Teams now. We'll come back to SharePoint in a moment. In this backup, we have protected one Teams site. And this Teams site has a single channel. In that channel, we have a wiki, we have a site link, and we have a couple of files. So here we can recover just a single file. We can recover the whole channel or the whole team. But let's now go and take a look at the SharePoint site, and I'll actually run a recovery now just to give a close demonstration of how this all works. So if we select our SharePoint backup, we have protected a site called MS010. In this site we have a number of particular files and configuration information that make up the layout of the site. And we have a number of documents that are attached to the site as well. A directory called Attachments, a directory called Photos, and a bunch of different photos that were under protection then. So if we now go ahead and take a look at this SharePoint site, this is the MS010 site. And here we have the documents with our directory attachments, our directory photos, and all of the different files that were in that directory. Let's just say we don't like Captain America anymore, and we decide to delete that file. We can then go into NetVault and say, actually, I want Captain America back. Let's go and recover him. Can give this job a name. Cover Captain America. We can submit that job. Then we can go and monitor it. Here we can see that the job has started. And the restore has now completed. We refresh our directory. There is our recovered Captain America file. So that was a quick demonstration of NetVault's ability to protect and recover Microsoft 365 environment. It's a very short overview, but there's a lot of power in the way that NetVault approaches protection of Microsoft 365. I'd like to encourage you to test it out yourself and explore the opportunities. Thank you very much for your time.